Hey, welcome everybody. Sorry we didn't start right on time. I'm Ron Gula, this is Cindy Gula.
Not to be confused.
So thank you very much for coming to our fifth Grant Award ceremony. The focus this year is increasing engagement with neurodiversity in cyber and IT.
Or expanding opportunities is said a different way.
I
But
could read the
that's all right.
slide too, it's good. So we're gonna basically try to just get through the formalities here pretty quick. We're gonna give you a little bit of an overview of the foundation, grants we've done in the past, but we're gonna try to get right to the point where we're introducing the winners and the runners-up to this year's grant.
Yes, so anybody who's been following Gulatech Foundation, we do $1 million grants, competitive. We like to make sure that we're looking at cybersecurity nonprofits, like for-profit companies, that grant funding is seed funding, that they can go on, get larger grants, make a larger impact. And for some of the topics have been on point, and just from a point of view, workforce development. But it's amazing what we learn. We learn that even though it's the same issue, many people solve it different ways and are approaching it, and we've had really great, outstanding success with our previous winners.
We couldn't do this without the help of our grant committee. We got some of them here. Bryson Board, where's Bryson at? Bryson just stood up. Heather, where's Heather at? Right there, very good. I can't see right
Jack.
in front of, and then Jack's here. We've got Jack co-founded Tenable with us, which is great, and we're just real happy to have folks involved. The way we work is we put out a topic, people apply, grant committee chooses the winners. We kind of debate, how it's being awarded and whatnot, and we do quite well with that. Like I said, this is our fifth grant, and along the way, one of the things we learned is that the word cybersecurity can be a little uninviting to people. So Cindy came up with this concept of data care.
So data care is really, it was about, Cindy, how do we get more women in cybersecurity? Stop calling it cybersecurity. When I had the realization that knowing everything I know today, I know my 17-year-old self would not go into cybersecurity. So I thought, why? Why? And it's like, well, you know what? The way we pitch it is, you're getting your hoodie, you put the entire world on your back, and you crawl down into your basement and you work alone. I'm not up for that. Well, I wouldn't want that at all. So I really started thinking about it. And if you think about when we were, well, at least when I was growing up, it was asked, do you want to go into the medical field? Sounds a little sterile, not very whatever, but they pivoted to healthcare. And what happened with that? There was a personal responsibility for your health. You were able to do small things to better yourself. I should eat better. I should do these things better. And then wellness, it came out. It's only 15 to 10 years old, the term wellness, but look at all the companies that are around wellness. So if we pivoted and we as an industry forget to say why we need to do cybersecurity, and it's about the data, and it's about your data. Do you have a personal responsibility for that data? Do you have a phone? Can you do small steps? It's like first aid. You don't have to be a doctor in order to stop bleeding, but you need to be educated on how to do that. And so we can try to do more to invite people into this industry, and thus data care hopefully says that. The other question I always used to ask is, Amazon a cyber company? Cybersecurity, and it got debated, fiery sometimes. I said, where does the public go on Cyber Monday? And people are like, oh yeah, well that's true. We are in a bubble from a standpoint of what we do and why we do. We need to expand that and say why we're doing it and invite more people in.
Excellent. So this is our fifth grant. Just a quick overview of some of the other grants we've done. The first grant was trying to increase engagement with the African American community across all things cyber. We awarded $1 million to 3 different groups. We've developed an interesting relationship with NPower. They've since have gone on to receive donations and grants from the Department of Homeland Security. And the CEO there actually had a chance to do it's like a one-day session at the White House all about workforce development. So that's just kind of an example of kind of things that happen after that.
And Girls Security won the increasing African American as well. They want to get more women into national security. And they do a lot in general for national security, obviously cyber being part of that. But their approach, again, is taking down those barriers of what the people think it is. But once you ignite that passion, that idea, I'm going to protect, it's actually quite a natural flow, and they're doing an outstanding job.
Second grant we did was trying to increase cyber awareness. We call it a data care grant. And we hit a lot of different type of topics here. It was general awareness, there was some senior citizen types engagement, there was K through 12, and the winners that we had there were the Center for it's a horrible acronym because it sounds like CISA, but it's actually the San Antonio University, the Center for Infrastructure and Assurance Security. A lot of these groups went on to work together and to develop kind of programs on their own. One of them, Cindy and I just had the chance to go to the San Antonio University of Texas. They've got games for kids, K through 12, that teach them all about cyber, like Magic the Gathering. And they're doing things that would kind of make me uncomfortable, like getting mascots. This is Cy-Bear, you know, so that's kind of cool to be with Cy-Bear. But then,
So one of the things is that the National Cryptological Foundation's won an award for data care to reach middle schoolers, and so they came out with a booklet. It says Outsmart Cyber Threats. But the Data Care 7 is what I like to call them. There were 3 winners and 4 runners-up. They decided to get together independent of us, and they started talking. One of the other runner-ups was for a senior center. And they said, you know what? We probably can take what you did there and make one for seniors. And so they have a booklet for seniors, and it's really great. I have a few of these if you guys want to take some as well. It's digital, flip, and that type of stuff. But it was just an amazing, and it's outstanding for me. I visited one time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was almost crying, because I was like, I never even imagined that would have taken off that way. So we really like to see the success beyond just the initial money.
so then the third grant we did, one of the things we realized from the previous grant, was that a lot of the teachers didn't have the confidence to kind of teach cyber. They got the curriculum, they got the information, but they couldn't go into a class and be like, okay, here's how TCP/IP works at the lowest level. Here's how the cloud works. Here's how why do we change passwords and things like that. So some of the groups that we had donated to there have gone on. The Ballmer Foundation just invested $3 million in CodePath. And these are all for supporting a wide variety of training K through 12. You want to talk about the last grant?
Yeah, so the last grant was really increasing cyber expertise on boards. So from a point of view of the public, getting more people involved, workforce development, how do we just get that confidence? The boards are out there as well. There's so much. I mean, you walk the floor, look at all the people who have cybersecurity products and why we're doing and what we're doing. But if it doesn't get to the board level where we understand that risk, we're just going to continue to spin the wheels. Ron likes to say we have SOX, finance. They've kind of nailed down the financial risk and ideas on the boards. But the winner, the first place winner, was Women Collaborative. They were trying to get more women executives, but right behind it was cyber women expertise. So we're really proud of both of these.
So today's grant, why neurodiversity? Why neurodivergent? And you can't really be in cyber, you can't really be in IT, you can't be really in coding without knowing somebody who has a child, a nephew, a niece who is autistic, has ADHD, and
Or perhaps them themselves.
And a lot of times, this is not sort of the number one kind of issue people kind of hear about. We want to get more women in cyber, more African Americans, we got better policy, whatnot. But we just ran into, over the last probably 10 years, coming out of Tenable, doing Gula Tech Adventures, we ran into just really interesting. Like there was an Israeli investor who had individuals who were autistic, and they understood the Torah.
Torah.
They understand, almost like a lawyer, understand all the intricacies of Hebrew law and whatnot, and they were recruiting them to go work for 8200. And we're like, and in my experience at the NSA, I had a lot of people, the government did a really good job, making way for people to come in and do that. So we thought this was a really important type of topic, and we were aware of some efforts out there already, so we announced the grant. We had a lot of people apply to it, and now we're going to get to the winners.
Yeah, so we whittled it down to eight finalists, and we invited the winners here. We actually had a tie for third place, which is great for us because that just means we give more people money. So that's awesome. So we are going to announce the runners up. Or
Yeah.
actually, we're going to announce the finalists.
So the way, when we started this, it was important for us to make it a competition. There's a lot of things very similar to investing in cybersecurity companies, so we really want to make it a competition. So we announced, typically what we've been doing is we announce our finalists. So we actually had 2 finalists that didn't win. They were both universities, the University of Central Florida. I don't think anybody's here, right? Nobody wants to show up for a finalist thing, so that's unfortunate, right? But I do want to recognize them. And both the Miami-Dade College. And what we found that there was a lot of universities who had like a Center for Autism or some sort of neurodiversity program, and they tried to kind of engage the other programs in those schools, computer science, cybersecurity, IT, that sort of thing. And they actually made it. Our grant committee did a good job selecting them. A lot of these programs had earmarks of walking people right into jobs. Northrop Grumman, government, that sort of
Internships.
thing. Absolutely. So, so then the actual winners,
No,
runners-up, for people who actually are winning grants
Awardees,
from
yes.
us. So the first one is the Howard County Autism Society, and I'd like to recognize Melissa Rosenberg. Go ahead, stand up, come on.
You came all the way out here. Full disclosure, we live in Howard County, Maryland, but they were not inside track for that. They still, our grant committee helped us select them, so what they've been doing is awesome.
Absolutely. So, one of the things we're going to ask people to do at the end is come introduce yourself, talk to these people. We're going to be going through this pretty quickly here. Get a chance to say hi and hello. Is our next finalist here?
Runner-up? I don't,
Runner-up.
no.
Okay, so.
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay, I thought, great.
You guys didn't meet us out there, and I was like, oh, I forgot.
Yes, so I apologize for not meeting. Is one of you Nicole Schwartz? All right, please stand
Please
up.
stand
Come on,
up,
come on.
yes.
Excellent. So we're at RSA. The other big conference is DEF CON Black Hat. But the Diana Initiative is basically a side conference, right, where you get to invite a lot of the people who are underserved. And what really struck me in your grant application was the ability to just go and try to include the neurodivergent. So I'm looking forward to, we haven't met in person yet, so I'm looking forward to talking with you a little bit. Excellent. All right, so each of those are $50,000 grants. If you add all these things up together, you get to $1 million, which is kind of cool. Third place, we actually had a tie. So we have two third-place winners. So I believe
I don't remember which one you have first.
Oh, yeah. I think
I'll hold this, you
yes.
do that, and we'll
All
figure
right.
out.
So
Figure out together.
The third-place
Melwood.
winner is Melwood, okay? So Melwood, visiting us today is Scott Gibson. Scott's right here. Scott, come on up. And what I've asked all of the third place, second place, first place winners to do is speak for about 5 minutes or so. Cindy and I are going to have a seat here. We're going to kick you off the stage if you go more than 5. But Scott, congratulations.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here. This is a great year for Melwood. We're celebrating our 60th anniversary. And 60 years ago, we started when a group of parents were told that their children were untrainable and unemployable. And we started with horticulture and plant care a few miles away from the nation's capital, and now we've grown into cybersecurity. Over those 60 years, what we did is we built a social enterprise that became a federal contractor, and that is at places like Fort Meade, NSA, FBI headquarters, NASA space flight facilities. And while we started with facility-based work, administrative work, a few years ago, we recognized that there was a huge unmet need for entry-level talent in cybersecurity. And so we reached out to industry. We couldn't do this alone, and I'm so proud that we have so many partners here. Cybrary was our first big partner, helping us with tech expertise. KPMG was one of our other founding partners, helping us with business knowledge and acumen. MITRE, who's helping us build an Autism at Work playbook for the federal government. But today we have a 14-week program where we're building up the self-confidence of people. We're building up their self-advocacy skills, but we're helping them earn industry-respected certifications, CompTIA A+, Security+, Network+. And we believe that combination produces perfect entry-level talent. And we're going to use this award to make sure that there are more individuals like Brian, who's now at KPMG as a quality assurance tester, Tristan, who's at Wells Fargo Bank, Morgan, who's at National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, helping keep the country safe, Josh, who's at GDIT, as he puts it, helping get the bad guys in a security operations center. We've lifted these individuals up out of underemployment, and they're the proudest they've ever been. Their employers are thrilled. We're doing great things, and so thank you very much for the support.
Excellent. So one of the cool things about running your own foundation is you can make the rules, such as giving out 2 third-place prizes. So coming in the second order of third place, also receiving a $150,000 grant, we have Nobility. And joining us from Nobility today is Jane Shurik. Jane.
And we really do appreciate people coming here directly to speak. And we're really hoping that everybody that has any interest in what they're saying to come and collaborate with them. Do you want that one or you want this?
Yes.
That
Okay.
might not be. Oh, I'd take the mic. I don't think that's hot.
Oh.
Can I use this?
Is it? It's
Oh,
not.
it is now.
Hello, hello? Yeah.
It's full service.
Good afternoon. My name is Jane Shurik. And first, let me say thank you very much for this generous and empowering gift. I'm here on behalf of Nobility, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to create a digital world that is inclusive for all people with disabilities. Since 1999, Nobility has advocated and developed programs to ensure that technology is accessible to people with disabilities and neurodiverse individuals. We envision a world of digital equality where everyone can participate fully in business, education, civics and public policy, and cultural engagement. Unfortunately, a significant portion of the neurodivergent population remains unemployed or underemployed. This is despite research that demonstrates that neurodivergent individuals are talented, creative, provide unique perspectives, are highly effective, and contribute positively to organizations. And this is especially true for cybersecurity and information technology companies. Thanks to the grant that Nobility received from the Gula Tech Foundation, we will be able to increase our capacity to serve neurodivergent individuals. We will expand opportunities through training, usability studies, and employment initiatives. We will be able to raise public awareness about the importance of inclusive design, and on behalf of my colleagues and the millions of neurodivergent people and people with disabilities who are served by our work, I thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So the way we vote, each of the grant committee members, they get to pick their top 5. Their first choice gets 5 points all the way down to 1 point. And sometimes it comes down to 1 or 2 grant committee votes for who gets to be first place or second place. So
And when it's close enough, then we just say, oh, that's a tie.
that's right, that's right. But in second place, that is going to win an award, a grant of $250,000 is Multiple. And from Multiple today is joining us is Dan, I'm gonna mess your name up even though I wrote it down, Freshbach.
Feshbach.
Freshbach. Dan, come on up.
Which ones do you want? You want that one or this one?
Well, it's really great to be able to get this award from the Gula Tech Foundation. Is this guy working? Yeah, I can't tell. But it's really kind of remarkable in a certain respect because of the work you're doing. I just love all of it. I love all the different initiatives you've done and the impact that you're having. So, and just the opportunity for Multiple, which is a nonprofit autism technology and neurodiversity accelerator. That's a mouthful, and I'll explain for a minute what it is. I'm inspired by my own son who has autism, who's 30, is an artist. Won't work in cyber, but he's a great kid. At Multiple, we have a couple of thrusts. One of our biggest thrusts is working with people who have more profound autism, working with companies who support those organizations. We accelerate nonprofits, but another big piece of work that we do is in workforce. And the thing that we do that I'm really proud of is we take either a baby company or a more mature company, and we help accelerate their growth. In the case of cyber, there's quite a few companies in our space in workforce tech. They vary from recruiting firms like a company called Mentra, all the way to a support firm that is called Joshin, to a firm that educates executives and leaders in private companies called, now I'm having a mind cramp, I'll remember the name in a minute. But the net on it is last year we worked with over 100 startups in the neurodiversity and autism space. We're looking for support. Okay, so I'm here to meet you. I really would meet every single person in this room, and I'd get your email address and make sure you're involved in our hub. You know, the autism employment situation, particularly for college graduates, well, actually across the board is dismal. 85% of the college grads don't get jobs, don't have jobs today. Now, we have a problem in cyber, apparently. 700,000 open positions. It seems like a good match, especially with neurodiverse talent being great at pattern recognition, being great at focus, being just amazing types of humans. Now, sometimes they come with a need for accommodations. And we've seen this happening all over the world where companies are jumping in. You know, the gentleman from Millwood was talking about Autism at Work. That was a leadership group of 4 companies that got going. We've been involved with that group for a long time. So I really am excited about this possibility of working with you. I think we can accelerate the employment growth, not because we employ people with autism, though we do have autistic individuals working for us, but rather the network of companies that we work with. And we're, you know, part of the aspiration we have in this grant is to create an alliance of that group of companies. And the ones that are really ready for prime time, they really cover cradle to grave, right? They cover everything from recruiting to support to retention and more. So I just look forward to talking to anybody here after the session. Thank you, and thanks again. It's really a big deal.
I was impressed too because we ran into Dan on the floor and we're like, "What do you think?" He goes, "Oh my gosh, this is overwhelming." And I'm like, "Yes, it is." But I'm glad he's here scouting, and hopefully he'll be back with some of our other allies next year to expand on what they're dealing with.
Excellent. Well, now we're on to our last grantee, our last winner. First place, actually $350,000, not $250,000.
Yeah, so if you want to see an anomaly, there it is.
It's all good. So I would like to welcome to stage from the Precision Institute, Janet Atwater.
Again, $300,000.
$350,000. Yeah,
look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
She's not letting me go with that unless.
Thank you, Ron and Cindy. This is truly a transformational gift for the Precision Institute. I was listening to you say 60 years. We've not been in existence for 6 years. So we are really a very new nonprofit with a very simple mission, removing barriers for employment to neurodiverse adults. And we do this in a very simple way. We assess abilities to empower employment to change lives. And the way we do that, our assessing abilities, we've heard the statistics already, 75 to 85% of neurodiverse adults are underemployed or unemployed. Lots of times because of the traditional interview where you're supposed to make eye contact and tell me a few things about yourself, et cetera, which can be not only difficult but almost impossible for some of the folks that we work with. What difference does it make if you can tell me about yourself, if I can do the work, if I can have the skills and the competencies? So we remove that job interview process and instead replace it with a multi-week workforce development assessment and training program. We do not charge a single penny for the program because that would just be one more barrier to employment for our individuals. And so over the course of 3 to 4 weeks, we get to really know these individuals. We get to know their technical competencies. We get to see their interpersonal strengths and skills, conflict management. And as I was saying to them earlier, you can hold it together for a week, but when you have to hold it together for, so all of a sudden people really begin to show who they are in all the best and most unique ways. And the whole idea is every single person, we don't see the disabilities, we see the special abilities of each individual, and then want to meet them where they are and make sure they get the accommodations and supports so that they can be the most possibly successful they can be. We have a unique partnership with TPI, which is our employment partner. They're a for-profit IT cybersecurity business services firms. So our outcomes are remarkable. 90 to 100% of our candidates successfully complete the program. TPI then hires 85+% in full-time IT, cybersecurity, business services jobs with benefits and a path to employment. And then basically we're changing their lives. We're giving them a path, a purpose. And it also answers a major question for their families. What happens to my neurodiverse adult child or family member when I'm not there anymore? Which is a huge contemplation and a burden for a lot of them. So this grant is just transformational for us because not only is it the opportunity to interact with people like you, we've already made some major connections. I have so many, this whole idea of building upon success, but it really allows us to transform the lives of countless others. We're already a national organization, but this helps us scale, and I cannot begin to thank you enough. So for our past, present, and future candidates and future neurodiverse employees, thank you, the bottom of my heart.
Congratulations. Thank you. Exciting.
So now it's your job. Now it's to you.
Yeah. So for all the grantees, is this your first RSA? First RSA, right? So how you can help right now is if you know of somebody out there who has a neurodivergent program. It could be autism, ADHD, any type of that kind of program. Introduce them. Remember these people. We also had some more grant committee members come. Jeff Mann came in. I think I said
JC.
JC's back there, which is good. So talk to our grant committee members. If you have an idea to introduce them to different programs out there, try to hook them up. It's
If
good
your
stuff.
organization needs to take this step, have the conversation with your leadership. Make sure that they're aware that they can do more and they can be more inclusive and they can take steps to learn what exactly the language and barriers are, because there's actually low to no cost changes that you can make internally in your organization to then make the awareness that people are seeing barriers. And just saying things like, well, that's common sense, everybody should know that, is actually not true. You don't have everybody doesn't live your life experience, and therefore you need to recognize that, and you need to advocate and be an ally.
Excellent. So what I'd like to do right now is conclude this presentation and grant ceremony by inviting all the grantees and the grant committee up on stage, and let's get some pictures.
And thank you
It's gonna be like a
everybody
wedding,
else
right?
for coming
Right?
too. So
All right,
great
yes,
to see you.
Thank you very much.